Oh shit. Ooh, Venus flytraps. Man, I got this thing at Wally World for a total of $5. This was the only one that was actually like salvageable. Everything else was either dead or dying. So this was the only one that was actually worth saving. One thing I hate about these containers, and this is in every kind of mainstream store. You see this stuff at Lowe's, Walmart, Food City. I've seen them at Ingles. I've even seen these in like random mom and pop's hardware stores. And it's not just this particular brand. It's literally all of them. Lowe's, it has companies like Bug Biting Plants. I've seen at Food City a company called Pot of Horrors or something like that. But they always display wrong information. Just read this. Keep planting mixed moist at all times. Okay, yeah, sure. Keep plants in bright, indirect sunlight. Bullshit. These are plants that require full blasting sun. Minimum of 6 hours of direct sunlight a day. This is actually a quote from Sarasota Northwest. If you can grow a tomato plant, you can grow a Venus flytrap. So give these guys about the same amount of light as a tomato plant. 65 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. That's also bullshit. These are plants that require a winter dormancy. They stop growing, the foliage dies back, and a plant enters a stage of dormancy. And yes, these plants can totally handle freezing temperatures. I've had these guys in single-digit weather. They do perfectly fine. Remove old leaves and traps as they turn black. That's true, because that's normal. Remove flowers for stronger, larger traps. Yeah, that's also true. Your Venus flytrap can be kept in this mini greenhouse tube or placed in a container of your choice, such as a glass globe or cylinder. That is a pet peeve of mine. I hate it whenever people put them in these fish bowls. It's such a horrible way to grow these plants. It really is. Because like there's no way you can grow it outside in full sun because it's gonna cook. And if you give it a decent amount of light, it will still cook. Because yes, even these plants can cook in intense heat. So the only way that these plants can actually survive in those bowls is if you give it indirect light, which of course the plants don't like. Not to mention the poor drainage. I get it. Oh, if you put gravel at the bottom, yeah, the gravel's not gonna do crap. So I'm just gonna take this. Oh, it fell out of the pot. This thing is dry. Oh wow. No wonder why they all died. Everything was just dry. This thing is so light. Give me the. Ah, yeah, there she is. I mean, it's not looking horrible. It's not good. And I already know this is gonna be some garbage clone, like I can tell you that. This plant's not gonna get big ever. The traps aren't gonna look too great. No matter what, this is not gonna be a good clone. Any of these mainstream centers to get these, I highly recommend Lowe's because the company's always bug biting plants. Even though they display wrong information, they usually have the best clones. I get all my Venus flytraps from mainstream places like Lowe's, Walmart, and all that because they're so cheap and it's so easy just to save them. So let's talk about things that are wrong. Now, first things first, this soil is awful. These roots are crammed. You can actually see how they're kind of swirling around everywhere. I mean, at least I know the root system's still alive. And you can see this is just pure peat moss. There's no perlite, no sand, none. Just pure peat moss. Not to mention, there's like algae growing on top. This stuff's very dry. They don't water. They don't take care of these guys. But yeah, I do not recommend just leaving these in there because like first things first, this thing is half opaque. Actually, mostly opaque. It's not gonna get any light out of that. But like what sucks the most is that a lot of people fall for this. They just read what says on the back and guess what? Their plants end up not making it, which actually discourages them from growing these guys again. If you want to start growing these plants, go on YouTube or look at professional help or join Facebook groups or go to Sarasota Northwest. Just look up at basic care guides. Don't just go with what the packaging says. Oh, there's even like a little bitty spider. Look at that. His name's Larry. I'm gonna keep him. Oh god, this plant's in rough shape. I personally believe that they do this on purpose. It's no coincidence that all of these mainstream companies do this. It's like planned obsolescence. They want you to kill your plant so you can buy more. It's such a dick move, man. Oh, I probably tore some roots. Oh, Larry. Living like Larry. Get off. I feel bad now. Not to mention how small this pot is for these plants. A lot of people tend to put their plants in pots that are just too small. I don't like that. I like to put them in reasonable sized pots. All right, this plant looks all right. Its roots don't look too great though. It is so hot in this sunroom. I know I've mentioned this before, but this sunroom has like no AC unit. There's a ceiling fan on top, but like it doesn't work. And it's 96 degrees out here, no joke. And Genius here is wearing jeans for some reason. All right, I think that's it for the trimming and dividing. So I'm actually gonna put these guys in a new pot. So now we have the soil mix. So I'm gonna put these guys in a 3.5 inch, 4 inch pot. It's good enough for what these guys are. Yeah, that should be good enough. Put some down here. I know the soil looks dry, but it's actually damp. Don't worry. Because peat moss absolutely sucks to re-soak. I seriously cannot stand that they give out the wrong information. It just discourages people. It discourages anyone who wants to try these plants out and grow them as a hobby. People are just gonna think, oh no, I just can't grow it. I just suck. I don't have a green thumb. Even though you're just getting the wrong information. Like what I said, watch Saracenia Northwest, or I don't know, watch my videos instead of just reading the back of these boxes, because that is not correct. If they are doing that on purpose, shame on them. There's one down. The rest of them are just gonna poke a hole at the bottom. Yeah, get off. That's the technique, okay? When you stick your finger there, you need to moan as loud as possible. Oh. Working with the babies, it's really difficult because they're so small. They're the most fragile little things. I'm not even gonna like push the soil down. I'm just gonna lay a little bit on top and I'm just gonna do that. Yeah. Oh no. There we go. I know it's not beautiful, but give it some time. They'll adapt well to it. So yeah, new members of the family, grown by Rocket Farms Inc. Half Moon Bay. Isn't that where predatory plants is? If you really want full care for these plants, this is really, really simple. These guys, full sun, 6+ hours of direct sunlight a day. Do not grow these on a windowsill, grow them outside. Water, make sure the soil is damp. The tray method is recommended. Even though I don't use it, I can still recommend it, especially if you're someone who's very forgetful for watering your plants. Fertilizers are allowed, even though this says none at all. You don't have to, you really don't. You can only use foliage sprays like Maxi. Only use that stuff, because if you use anything that's for the soil, yeah, no, that's just gonna kill your plants. So the only fertilizer that's actually acceptable is Maxi. They usually say to only use rainwater, distilled water, or reverse osmosis water, but make sure, test your tap water. Grab a TDS meter. If it's below 100, your tap water is perfectly fine. I'm fortunate to have tap water that's clean, so I could totally water these guys with the hose. It's so convenient. I don't have to pay $1 a gallon at Walmart, especially at these times where, you know, you can't really go anywhere. These plants can have pests. Just because they're carnivorous does not mean that they don't have any pests, because they can still get things like mealybugs, aphids, caterpillars. Yeah, it's pretty annoying. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys learned something. I don't know, do you guys learn from my videos? But yeah, that's how you properly save a fly trap, and this is what you should do before you buy one. Before you buy one, make sure you know how to take care of it properly instead of reading the garbage that's on the back of these packages. Listen to professionals, not this guff garbage. Garbage? I'm having a stroke. It's hot in here.